Have you ever seen arrogance backfire so spectacularly that the one in charge is left red-faced and the institution crumbling under its own weight? This is one of those stories, an encounter where misguided authority collides with unyielding power, and one determined CEO makes sure the world remembers her name. It was a brisk Thursday morning in downtown Manhattan, the kind of day where the chill in the air hinted at possibilities as endless as the city's skyline. The busy streets teemed with people, each intent on their own goals. Among them was Evelyn Carter, a powerhouse CEO known for her fierce determination and impeccable record of turning adversity into advantage. Having built Carter Financial from scratch into a multi-million-dollar empire, Evelyn was not accustomed to taking orders from anyone, least of all from the staff of a bank she'd trusted for years. Evelyn had been a loyal client at Hamilton National for over a decade. In the world of high finance, few names resonated like Hamilton National, a prestigious institution with an image of sophistication and reliability. Today, however, Evelyn's visit wasn't for a routine deposit or a meeting with her financial advisor. She had come to withdraw $25,000 in cash, needed for an urgent investment opportunity that couldn't wait for the usual protocols. For someone of her stature and background, this was an everyday transaction, until it all went unexpectedly awry. Evelyn entered the branch with the quiet confidence of someone who was used to getting what she deserved. The marble floors, polished glass counters, and understated luxury of the branch all spoke of an institution that prided itself on excellence. At the counter, a young teller greeted her with a practiced smile. "Good morning, Ms. Carter. How may I assist you today?" "I'd like to withdraw $25,000 from my business account, please," she replied calmly, handing over her identification and account details. Before the teller could proceed, a voice boomed from behind the counter. "Excuse me, what is going on here?" The branch manager, a middle-aged man with an air of misplaced superiority, stepped forward. His name tag read, Greg Thompson. His eyes locked onto Evelyn, and it was immediately clear that he was determined to make an example out of this transaction. Evelyn's eyes narrowed slightly. "Is there a problem?" Greg's smirk was as condescending as his tone. "We have strict policies regarding large cash withdrawals, ma'am. I need to verify that everything is in order. With such a significant amount, extra security is standard procedure." Evelyn's jaw tightened. "I've been banking with Hamilton National for years. My firm's account holds well over 7 figures. I'm requesting what is rightfully mine, not making a scene." The manager's response was cold and bureaucratic. "Policy is policy. Without the proper pre-authorization, I'm afraid I can't process this withdrawal immediately. You must file a formal request and wait a minimum of 7 business days." A few customers nearby exchanged puzzled looks, their whispers growing louder. One woman, clutching a manila folder, leaned in as if she were privy to some scandal unfolding. The atmosphere was suddenly charged with tension, a clash of power, protocol, and the unspoken class divide. Evelyn's voice, usually measured and firm, took on a steely edge. "Are you seriously denying me access to my own money? I have all my documents right here." She produced her ID once again, her eyes locking onto Greg's with unyielding intensity. Greg hesitated, then replied with feigned concern, "I'm simply following the bank's security procedures. Large withdrawals like this are flagged for potential fraud. It's for your own protection, ma'am." It was at this moment that Evelyn's patience snapped. "I'm protecting my interests by running a multi-million-dollar firm. I don't need your paternalistic concern over my finances." Her tone left no room for negotiation, and the customers around them began to murmur, the silence thick with disbelief. Unwilling to accept such blatant disregard, Evelyn pulled out her phone and made a single, decisive call. "John, I need you at Hamilton National, immediately." Within minutes, the branch's atmosphere shifted once again as a tall, authoritative figure strode into the lobby. John Lancaster, the regional vice president of Hamilton National, had an imposing presence. His tailored suit, the calm determination in his eyes, and the air of authority around him silenced any further murmurs. He approached Evelyn with a nod of acknowledgement. "Ms. Carter, what seems to be the issue?" Evelyn wasted no time. "Your branch manager is denying me a withdrawal that is entirely within my rights. I'm not requesting charity. I'm here for a business transaction. Clearly, something is wrong with your internal processes." John's gaze shifted to Greg, whose confident demeanor had already begun to crumble. "Mr. Thompson, is it true that you're preventing Ms. Carter from accessing her funds without a valid reason?" Greg stammered. I I was just following standard protocol. Large cash withdrawals must be verified to prevent fraud. I wasn't aware that." "Enough," John interjected firmly. "Ms. Carter is one of our VIP clients. Her firm's holdings with us amount to millions. Denying her access not only insults her, but jeopardizes our relationship with one of our most important accounts." A heavy silence fell over the branch as customers and staff alike watched the confrontation unfold. Evelyn's calm was unwavering as she continued, "If you can't process my withdrawal now, then you have failed in your duty to your client. I trust you understand that I expect this matter to be resolved immediately." John turned to the teller, who had been watching the exchange with wide eyes. "Please process Ms. Carter's withdrawal right away and ensure that this incident is escalated to the head office for further review." His tone left no room for argument, and the teller quickly resumed his work, albeit with noticeable trepidation. Meanwhile, Greg's face flushed a deep red, and he mumbled something about following procedures, though his words were drowned out by the murmurs of the onlookers. Evelyn, ever the picture of composure, gathered her cash and let her eyes linger on Greg's dejected expression. "Mr. Thompson," she said quietly, but with enough authority to make the entire branch listen, "I hope you learn that service should never be about rigid policies at the expense of common sense and respect." John, addressing the branch in a tone that was both apologetic and resolute, added, "We deeply regret this inconvenience, Miss Carter, and I assure you that such a lapse in service will not happen again. Your business is invaluable to us." Yet even as John spoke these words, a part of the branch's clientele was already tweeting and sharing the unfolding drama on social media. Over the next few hours, the incident became the talk of not only Hamilton National, but also the broader financial community. Clips of the standoff, along with snippets of Evelyn's resolute remarks, spread across the internet. The hashtags number CEO versus bank and number CARTAKESCHARGE began trending on social platforms, stirring debates about corporate power, customer service, and the misuse of authority in even the most established institutions. The next day, Hamilton National's headquarters issued a public apology. In a carefully worded statement, they promised immediate disciplinary action against those involved and vowed to review and update their withdrawal policies to ensure such an incident could never happen again. For many, however, the incident had already done irreversible damage to the bank's reputation. At a high-profile press conference later that week, Evelyn Carter was invited to comment on the ordeal. Standing confidently at the podium, she addressed a sea of reporters. "What happened at Hamilton National is a stark reminder that even institutions that pride themselves on tradition and stability can fall prey to outdated practices. I did not demand special treatment. I simply asked for what is rightfully mine. Today, I urge all consumers to stand up against arbitrary policies that fail to recognize the value of customer relationships and respect." Her words resonated with many who had experienced similar frustrations with bureaucratic inefficiency. The story of the CEO's withdrawal debacle served as a rallying cry for better customer service and a re-examination of how financial institutions treated their most important clients. Within days, a number of influential figures in the financial world expressed their support for Evelyn. Industry analysts commented on how such incidents could lead to significant shifts in client loyalties, and some even speculated that Hamilton National might lose several high-net-worth accounts if they did not address their internal issues immediately. In the end, what began as a simple withdrawal turned into a masterclass in assertiveness and modern business ethics. It proved that even a single moment of defiance, when backed by years of hard-earned success, could send shockwaves through an entire industry. How would you react if you found yourself at the center of such a corporate showdown? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.